Brought to you by Sasquatch Afterbirth.
What the hell is even that?
Welcome to the show. It is Sunday, the 10th of May, 2026. How are y'all doing? Oh, that's right. I can't hear you because we're on the internet. Sorry. Until I saw all this crazy nonsense on the internet about this new game called Mixtape and everyone's freaking out about it. So like I said, we will cover it today on the show. It's going to be like the major topic I cover because I got a lot to say, and I think that what you're going to find is that what I say about this game is typically not what everyone else has been saying, because I tend to tackle things from a different perspective, different angles. So I hope that you guys will stick around and chill. Notably, this week, all right, I am actually doing some different stuff with reacting. If you're not aware, back on Thursday night, I started a React project over on my DSP Reacts channel. If you haven't seen it yet, I did a 2 to 2.5 hour reaction to the Quartering documentary that was put out by June the King last week. And the reason I did this is twofold. Number one, money. I want to diversify my content and not always just be covering gaming. I do feel like if I'm just doing gaming 100% of the time, that the gaming stuff can start to get played out and a little boring. Although I do a variety of games, and I try to mix it up and keep it interesting and cool. In my opinion, you want to try to branch out, particularly as I get older. I'm not just going to be able to play games full time anymore. You understand that as you get older, your hand-eye coordination tends to go, and you're going to want to do other kinds of stuff. Now, in regards to the other factor, I was curious if I did a long-form react, how many people would care? Because I haven't done one in a long time. Some of the most popular long-form reacts I've ever done were to documentaries on Wings of Redemption, reacting to things that were dramatic that happened in my past, like my own documentary by June the King, or to that Review Tech documentary years ago. And so, being more than a year removed from this kind of content, I was curious how this would be, received. Well, here's what happened. The stream itself did pretty good. We had decent attendance, okay, good engagement, and pretty good support. But admittedly, as I even said immediately after we had done that React stream on Thursday, it really was a smaller group of individuals who had supported it. It was like a few people coming over from Kick and we're being a little, dramatic. And there's some other people who liked it too, tipping and stuff. And that's good, by the way, for the record. I am happy that there were people who liked it. But it's like, overall, would people care about it in the long term? Would it get views? Would it get some traction on the internet? That Phil is reacting to this thing in a different way from his perspective. And would it continue to get any kind of views and support, right? And so, I let it go for a couple days. The raw stream is live on the channel DSP Reacts, as well as a special edited version that my editor worked on. Added in effects and transitions, added in supplemental content so that it's more digestible. They took that 2+ hour React and cut it down to around 45 minutes. Okay? To be honest with you, I went crazy basically trying to promote this thing, and here's why. Because I am putting a lot of investment into these kind of clips. Okay? I am, spending money on them, and I'm hoping that this will try to get my content to some extent into the algorithm again. Not only just for gaming stuff here on this channel, but hopefully the reacting stuff maybe for a different reason, because it would sure be cool if people would check me out here for the gaming stuff, but then over there for other kinds of content, right? Yeah, it's not working. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I am going to be honest. It didn't work at all. All right, the edited video, I'm not even kidding. As of now, I think has like 1,400 views in 2 days. Yeah, that's not good. I tried. I think, for the record, I think the video is superb. I think the video is very well done with the supplemental stuff put in, the memes that are put in. It's a very good video. But I guess in this case, not every single video is going to work, particularly on a channel like that, where sadly, the content isn't getting pushed into the algorithm. On this channel, okay, in the last couple of months, I've had several different videos that have gotten some traction and gotten pushed into the algorithm, and people have been able to find DSP Gaming again. They're saying it's getting recommended, you know? But sadly, I hate to say it, yeah, it just didn't work this time. Now, the stream itself started off with only around 1,000 to maybe a little bit over that of viewership in views, and now I think it has almost 3,000 views. So people did actually go watch the archive stream more than they actually watched the highlighted video, and that kind of made me scratch my head, because I definitely think the highlighted video is better. I'm not sure why the stream ended up getting more views overall. That's really confusing, because take a look at my raw content on this channel. It's kind of the opposite, where the highlighted videos are getting tons of views, and the raw content doesn't really get that many residual views, notably of gameplay and stuff like that. So, I'm not sure. But here's the thing. Tonight, we're doing it again, part 2 of this react. If people keep showing up and engaging and supporting the streams, then I will continue doing this react project all week. The thing is, this documentary is long. It's like 3.5 hours long. And the first night, we got through about an hour. Tonight, I expect to probably get through another hour. And then if that does well, then I'll probably do it again on Tuesday night. And then we'll probably end up wrapping up on like Thursday night. Okay? So this will be like alternating nights for me, where instead of streaming here, I'll be streaming over on the DSP Reacts channel, getting through this documentary, kind of doing my final thoughts on that Thursday or whatever. Okay? Now, I'm totally cool with that. But based on the, reaction to the edited video, I don't think I'm going to move forward with those. I thought it was a good experiment to try a different kind of edited video on that channel, but it really didn't get any kind of attention. I tried my best to promote it on Friday streams and post it on social media. Yeah, it just didn't work. To be honest, it's not worth it to invest the amount of money and stuff that I'm putting into the edited videos for it to get 1,000 views. Like, that didn't help the channel at all in any way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, rage quit. What a horrible thing. What are you talking about?
If the React project on DSP Reacts falls through, like let's say tonight it just does horribly, we don't get good attendance or support, then we're just going to say, all right, listen, I tried it. It is what it is. And I'll tap out and I'll move on. Okay. And we'll just go back to full-time gameplay again. I'm okay with that. All right. But I want to try different things. I'm trying, to move around and try experiment with different things. I hope you guys understand I'm doing it for a reason. I think that it works better when basically you get variety. Okay. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Would you like an update on my Steam controller? Now that someone brought it up, we might as well get that out of the way. Okay. So, as you know, on release day, back almost a week ago, I ended up buying a Steam controller. I got it. I got in and got it on release day. A ton of people are upset because they couldn't. They tried, and mostly bots apparently snagged these things, but I was lucky and I got one. Okay. Well, is it here?
No.
I guess Valve was in no rush. They didn't even ship this thing until Thursday, okay? The 7th, right? Yeah. And when they shipped it the most slow boat speed I've ever seen in my life. It shipped from California, but supposedly it's not getting here until Tuesday. For the record, California is only 2 states away from me. Right now, if I were to get a piece of mail, all right, like a I don't know, a letter, and put a regular stamp on it and mail it to California, it would probably get there faster than whatever speed they've decided to pay to ship this controller to me. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous that I bought it on release day. They claimed they were going to get it out, shipping it. They took their sweet time doing so, and now I have to wait a ton of time to get it. People in California apparently already got their controllers and have unboxed them and have reviewed them. I can't do that because I'm still waiting for mine. Okay, so this is, nothing that I can really control. There was no option to pay for better shipping. I absolutely would have done so if there was an option. There was none. So, indeed, if it actually arrives on Tuesday, what I would like to do is obviously an unboxing for you. What I'd like to do is test it. So on Tuesday, I'm going to be playing Directive 8020. So maybe I can use this controller through Steam to play Directive 8020, tell you what I think. I don't really think it's going to be that good of a test, though, because Directive 8020 is a narrative-based game. You know, maybe when we get back into things, like when I play Mouse PI for Hire, that would be a much better test of it. I guess we'll have to see. But at this point, it just kind of sucks because I wanted to do like a big launch coverage of this controller for you guys. That's why I bought it. And by the time I get it, you probably are going to watch someone else cover it if you were interested. You know what I'm saying? Like, that really stinks that there's just no real way to do this in the modern era because you're reliant on the company and the company isn't reliable. So same thing. Like, imagine if the Steam machine comes out and I happen to get one and I want to review it for you. I might not get it for a week after other people. So I spent all this money on Steam machine. What was the point? You know, maybe so that kind of almost deters me from wanting to buy a Steam machine to review later, because what's the point if I'm going to get it late and everyone else is going to have the review out before me? Yeah, it's shitty. We have Bobby Trek, who did a $2 super chat to insult me. Listen to this. He says, dead channel, 4 supporters, 160 viewers, bomb. So let's see. Dead channel. Well, I'm certainly not a super popular channel, but I'm also not dead. I would argue I'm somewhere in the middle, or at least maybe I'm zombified. Like, I refuse to permanently die. Like, even though I get forgotten and swept under the rug, every once in a while, there's someone who talks about me and then I get like a boost again. Hey, I'm doing fine for myself, so I'm not really too worried. 4 supporters. Well, already today we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different contributions directly to the stream. I'm still shouting them out. I'm sure we'll have many more. We've got people watching. I'm earning revenue from there. I got ad revenue that I'm making. I would argue you're wrong, but, you know. And then also 160 viewers. Well, right now I have 205 viewers and climbing on YouTube. How many do I have on Kick right now? Let's see. I currently have 71 viewers on Kick. That's not bad. I wish I had more, honestly. I would always like more, but it is what it is. I would say that around 270 viewers is pretty decent for a guy just talking to an audience on a podcast, you know? And bum. All right, I can't contest that. I'm obviously a bum. Most bums look just like me. They sit on well-lit sets with high-end internet, broadcasting them at 1440p across the internet with background music they pay and subscribe to, you know, with expensive gaming peripherals all around them, $1,000 monitors, homeless. Exactly. Okay, thanks for the $2. Maybe you could send me some more now because you're stupid. I got a $2 tip. Someone says, good things come to those who have patience, happiness, retirement, and your Steam controller. At least you're going to get it. I mean, yeah, at least I'm going to get it, but admittedly, it's a little different for me than it is for the normal gamer. You know, for me, the real reason that I invested the money in it is because I wanted to review it for you guys and hopefully get some content out of it. You know, that's something good. Like the unboxing, testing it with various different games and giving my opinion on how it works and like a final thoughts could make a really good edited video for this week, you see? But it needed to show up. If it was here today, I could have tested it, you know, various things. Maybe I even would have bumped Pokemon a stream or whatever. But now it's like, by the time I get it, so many other people will have already gotten it and reviewed it. It's kind of a moot point. It's frustrating, you know, but there's nothing you can do. In this case, the way that Valve does it, there is absolutely no opportunity to get it fast. You just get it the way that they ship it and you deal with it. And you'll like it. Too bad. That's my prerogative. And you have no right to try to boss me around and tell me what to do because you're not my dad and you're not my boss. I'm my boss. Get it, Chief? Big topic that everyone is talking about in gaming over the last 2 to 3 days. The hot burning topic. And I didn't really understand how big it was getting until yesterday. Like I said, it was my day off. And every once in a while, I'll open up, you know, social media on my day off. I got a few extra minutes. You know, in this case, my wife was getting ready for the day. And I'm like, well, there's not much to do. I actually came in here. I cleaned the office. I actually took a dust buster. I dust busted the whole office up and I rearranged stuff. And I was like, well, I got a few minutes. Let's see what's going on. And I opened up X. And it's mixtape. I'm like, mixtape? What the hell is mixtape? And I started thinking in my head, I've heard this game before. I've heard of it. Oh, yeah. Mixtape.
2,000 years later.
In American politics, We currently have a political situation where we have two parties that are at each other's throats. We have the very leftist liberals and we have the very conservative right-wing Republicans, and they are constantly slamming their heads together like this. And they never want to work together. It's like, you're my enemy, black and white, good and bad. They don't want to work together to make things better for Americans. Instead, they just want to argue with each other and constantly say that each other are villain. Okay? Sadly, what's happened, politics have become pop culture now. Our president, Donald Trump, was a reality TV star. And so what happens is the lines have been blurred with everything in the entertainment medium. How many times have I said in the last several years, I just want to play a video game? I don't want politics in my video game. Which is why when you're playing Dragon Age Veilguard and there's a scene about pulling a bar because you misgendered someone, you're like, what the hell is going on in my video game? I don't want that in my video game. I just want to play a game. I want to unplug from reality and the drama and the culture wars and the politics. I just want to enjoy a game at face value. Why aren't I allowed to do that?
Popularity, especially among younger citizens of Mouseburg. Okay.
Cheesy mysteries rule the headlines these days.
All right. And of course, if you guys are enjoying, if you could support the stream tonight in any way, whether it be subs or kicks on Kick, tonight is the final night of the week to help me out on Kick and have it count for this week. But we've got nothing on Kick whatsoever so far this stream. Can we get some support on Kick? That would be great. Super chats and memberships on YouTube or tips via PayPal. Everything appreciated.
Okay? And the problem is what's happened is because this has happened in politics and in culture wars. Now it's permeated gaming. So you have the gaming journalists who have become ultra leftists all the way to the one side. Any game that's artsy, any game that seems to tug on the heart feels or has some kind of these liberal kind of leaning, plot lines, all of a sudden it's a 10 out of 10. It's the best game I've ever played. I can't believe it. And this has been happening for the last 6 to 7 years. And it all started in 2020 with The Last of Us 2, a year when notably almost all real gamers said, I'm sorry, Ghost of Tsushima is Game of the Year. That game blew it out of the park. It gave us the open world samurai.
One eternity later.
You know about a game months and months and months before it ever releases. You know everything about it. You know most of the games, you leak most of the story before the game's even out. So why on earth do we need a games journalist when the day a game comes out, your favorite creator already is playing it and giving you their opinion live for free? You don't need to go to some bloated website full of ads and garbage to sift through trash to find the review that tells you why Mixtape should be your Game of the Year 10 out of 10. So why does IGN exist? Why does GameSpot exist? Why do any of these websites exist? Money! Because this is how these games get pushed to the forefront. Money! It's big business, right? Companies like Annapurna and other games publishers and developers and companies are in cahoots with games journalists to get certain games pushed to the forefront, okay? That's the only reason why games journalism is even pertinent or existing in 2026. Because if it weren't for the money, no one would give a shit. We would all say, why would we ever pay attention to these companies and just say, get out of the way? We've got people who we trust who every day tell us their opinions on games, and then we can judge for ourselves because we're not stupid. But those websites think you're stupid. They think that you will see the 10 out of 10 review and go buy Mixtape based off of it. Okay? So what's happened is this big divide between games journalists and actual gamers. However, for as bad as that is and that situation is, there's another thing that has happened in the last couple of years that I've noticed notably that I think I need to call out now because I want to be fair. For as many games journalists as there are that are left-leaning and pushing agendas and trying to say this particular kind of game is Game of the Year, there's equally now becoming an amount of creators and content coverers, whatever you want to call them, on the other side of the aisle that say any game that has any kind of liberal content is woke, is slop, is bad, and should absolutely never be entertained by anyone. It's garbage. It shouldn't exist. In my opinion, that's just as bad because you're basically saying, well, because you're that, you're bad. Well, Can you actually give me unique reasons why?
Yeah, you get the point. Moving on.
I really wonder what's going to happen in regards to the React, to the quartering documentary. I really don't know. At this point, I feel like it could go any direction. It could go well. It could go poorly. I hope that it goes well. I would like to do more variety stuff, but I just don't know, how exactly it's going to go tonight. I guess we'll find out together. If the streams do well, I'm okay with continuing with it. I see the highlight video has 1,500 views at this point, and it's like, yeah, it does it feel like I'm defeated? Not really defeated, but definitely disappointed. I obviously wanted to do better than that for the amount of investment that I'm putting into those videos, but I can't make people watch the highlight, and I certainly can't make the highlight hit the algorithm, but I hope that overall the React event does well, and that people will check it out tonight and, Tuesday night and further into the week. We'll have to see. Yeah, some weird stuff is going on. Like, I just wanted to add that song to a playlist, and I don't think it's working. I think it's like some weird stuff is going on, or it's not working, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm going to have to mess with this Roland Bridgecast app more and try to figure out how it works. I wanted to build a different kind of playlist, but it seems to not work right. Yes, it is okay to say Happy Mother's Day to whoever you see as a motherly figure. It doesn't actually have to be your biological mother. I mean, think of it this way, right? Many mothers or many people don't have a biological mother who's their mother. Maybe they have an adopted mother. Maybe they have another family member that took up that role for them, an aunt or a grandmother or a great aunt. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone has a biological mother who actually takes on that role. And that's okay. Well, if you say so, Mr. Guy says, well, Phil, you're very maternal in a sense. Well, thank you. And that's not just because I'm wearing like a tropical shirt, right? And I think it's floral or something. Because these are palm trees and blooms. These are not like sissy flowers, so you know. These are not like roses or tulips. That's right.
I am straight! I'm not gay!
Have I thought about shaving my head and embracing the baldness? No, because you see, I'm not bald. That's the difference. Maybe I do have a uneven hairline, but I'm actually not bald. I don't know if you can use your eyeballs to see that. There's no baldness to embrace when you're not bald. Completely false. Someone says you're bald. Wrong. You could say that I have a uneven or even receding hairline, and I say, okay, to some extent you're correct, but you're not correct if you say I'm bald. That's just factually wrong, and that's a nice ban for you. You've earned it.
I almost never ban someone on Kick because I'm mad at something they said or something like that.
Okay, again, here's another one. I mean, your guys are really dumb. That's another one. 2 in a row.
Very little moderation happens, despite what idiots say.
There are 2 people I can't stand for, all right? Flat earthers and bald fillers. If you think the earth is flat or Phil is bald, you're out of here. You've gone against my rules. You're out of here. I can't take this nonsense. You understand me?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
My week off? You mean my day off, King Michael? For the most part, yesterday was a good day off. All right, I actually didn't talk about this. So yesterday was my day off. I had to balance doing some errands with spending time with my wife. I did get to spend a lot of time with my wife. We actually did make use of our new relaxation room for a lot of the day, where we were in there with Jasper Kitty with the new furniture and the setup, and we were watching some stuff together, and it was pretty fun and relaxing, admittedly. And I was able to measure, and my wife and I looked at several options, and we picked out a weight machine, and we purchased it. Now we're just waiting on details about, how long it'll take to ship and get here and all of that. We purchased an actual weight exercise machine that we're going to build in the house, and I'm going to start working out with once it gets here, and get set up. So it was a big step because I've never done anything like that before. I've only ever used free weights in my life. So this is the first time ever using a machine. My wife actually has used exercise machines, so she's going to know more about this thing than I will. She'll probably figure it out quicker than I will. And I'm excited for it because right now, like I said, here's my problem. My problem is I'm only using 2 free weight dumbbells, okay? It's hard to do multiple exercises because of having to keep switching the weight around. the position. There's not a lot of room. You know, when you're doing exercises with the free weights, a lot of it is you have to have a lot of room to stretch and everything to do the exercises. With the weight machine, it's different because it's all, you know, the cable pulls, and you can do different exercises in a very narrow space. They even explain you need this spacing to do everything. And I have it. I measured. I was like, ooh, I have that amount of space in the room. So I'll be able to do all the exercises with this machine. So, it's looking good. Like, I can do a lot more with this machine. I can finally do crunches and stuff, weighted crunches, which I need. Because I'm just, you know, I'm at the point where now I'm doing an insane amount of sit-ups to the point where, like, there's no point because I'm not really making, there's no progress to be made anymore. It's taking too long. What I need to do is do weighted crunches, and that's what this is going to allow me to do. Plus, it's going to allow me to change the weight quickly. It's that system, the pin system, where you could swap quick, slap the lock on, go quick, slap the lock on again. So I'll be able to quickly be swapping around all the different attachments and all the different things and doing all these different exercises. It should be quicker, and I'll be able to do a lot more. So I'm excited for it. I am. I just hope that, I've heard that it could take a long time to build. It could take upwards of 4+ hours to build with 2 people working on it. And I'm like, I'm dreading that. That's going to have to be like a pain in the butt to do. And I feel like there will initially be like a learning curve. I've never used anything like this before, and I'm going to have to learn how to swap the cables, because that's the thing. There's a bar, right, that you do for some exercises. There's the up bar up here, but then there's also the bars here, because those you do the bench press, and you do, what is this called? The lateral, I forget what this is called when you put your arms together like this. So that's one exercise. There's the press exercise, but then there's the bar that you pull down, and then you also do underneath for curls, right? But then there's also the thing you put there, and you do your crunches. So I got to figure out how to do it all. And I'm sure they all need to have swappable attachments, right? It's got pulleys and shit. To do your leg exercises, you got to put it like on your feet. You do the pull. So I got to figure all this out. So we'll see how it goes. If it goes well, you know, I'll probably keep everyone, you know, talking about it and stuff. And of course, if I'm doing all these exercises more regularly, within a few months, you're probably going to see even more changes here, you know?
What a bunch of fucking bullshit.